What's up? Ryan Murphy Baseball Performance checking in with episode 145 of 5 a.m. Thoughts, and we're going to be talking about mastery. I want to give a special shout out to my main man, Bo Adia, for saying, dude, where's the next episode of 5 a.m. Thoughts? So for him and for anybody else who's giving me feedback that this is something you enjoy, I really appreciate you, and I will continue to make time because I need this too. I need this for mindset. I need this for collaboration. I love hearing from people that have seen an episode or that know what we're all about and that see this as valuable. So let's talk mastery. Mastery defined is world-class expert. So the top 1% of whatever medium you're talking about. If you're talking about business, sales, if you're talking about athletic performance in baseball, and the biggest myth that's ever been perpetuated about mastery is that it's just a natural, inherent thing. The more the competitive the world gets, which every day we have better information, we've got more people in the population, we are no longer in a situation, if we ever were, where you can just ride talent to success. And when I say to sustainable success at the highest level, which would be mastery. So what are the elements of mastery then? How do we achieve mastery? One of the elements of mastery is going to be, first, deliberate practice. We've defined this before, but deliberate practice, waking up with a specific game plan to attack a weakness. Now, one of the mistakes that many people make, that I've made over the course of time, is people want to try to attack multiple weaknesses at once. And it can be done. I'm a pragmatist. I'm not saying it's impossible, but what I've seen in my own failure and in processes that have been more successful in pursuit of mastery on the baseball field is guys who focus on something simple and attack it and give it time to play out typically have a much better experience and result versus guys who ping pong around. So here's an example. If you're a baseball player, you know that, okay, my arm is tight and it's got to become more whippy, and my front side isn't capable of blocking adequately to throw as hard as I want to throw. If you're in sales, you know, oh man, I really need to get better at structure of a meeting, but man, I also need to really get better at focusing on making enough cold calls to get into the door at the right level, or else I'm not going to have enough at bats. So if you focus on all these different things at once and you then walk out into competition, you're going to have a really hard time having enough of a baseline established, a foundation established of who you are in that competitive moment, because you've just been jumping around from thing to thing to thing to thing. And the slowing the game down, so to speak, is a hard enough task without you complicating it by working on 10 different things at once. So number one key of mastery is focus on one thing at a time. Do a 21-day challenge where you focus on one specific thing. And then really, if you want to solidify it, if you know you're like me and you have the tendency to ping pong around and want to try different things, the flavor of the day, let it happen for 60 days. You're going to be better off going ahead and doing the hard, nasty, gritty work of attacking one thing at a time than you will be trying to attack multiple things. So that's the first thing. How much are you going to practice? And what are you going to practice? So 10,000 hours is the next part. You've got 10,000 hours is what we've found, studies have found, is the minimum requirement for world-class effort, greatness at any level. So that's 6 hours or 5 hours a day, 6 days a week for 10 years. I see people wanting to play a million sports. We're in Texas right now. 14 to 17-year-old kids are playing baseball, basketball, football, everything under the sun. And look, I understand the argument. Let him be a kid. Well, guess what? If you want your kid to have a Division I scholarship, the type of time and investment and commitment that's required in terms of developing their ability, meaning developing their measurables like their 60-yard dash, their throwing velocity, their hitting velocity, their all the things that are going to put them in a position to stand out at a showcase and ultimately to get the attention of Division I coaches or professional coaches. Those things need to be developed early. The longer you wait, if you're a 15-year-old kid and you're not an elite thrower and you're not an elite runner and you're not elite at the plate, and you're going to spend time trying to play basketball, football, baseball, like, it just is not going to work out. And trust me, I am not an advocate for just focusing on one sport, baseball, and playing it all year round, but training your ability, opening up your ability ceiling, I'm a huge advocate for, because that's what kept me from hitting my goal of playing professional baseball. I waited till it was too late. I waited till I was 19 years old, 18 years old to intervene on developing through deliberate practice the ability ceiling, changing my velocity from 78 up to 93 over the course of time. And when I was in college doing it, it was, you're going through the struggles of learning how to command the ball. You've already got real significant attachment to your identity on the mound, on the field, and that's tough emotionally, mentally. So the point is, you got to develop this stuff early. So that's what it's going to be. That's what's going to take to be a master. Those two elements. And last thing is just obsessive focus. Like, if you're not being called crazy, if you're doing the same warm-up everybody else is doing, if people aren't looking at you funny when you're really getting after your craft, you're probably not going to get to mastery. Anybody I know that's world-class does things different. They don't work and flow with the masses of people. They find out what they need and they go all in on it. And they don't have what I would call balance. Like, they're not good at multiple things. Humans are not good at a ton of different things, just be honest. Except for a few people maybe that you know. But I would venture to say that most world-class people you know, think about how many of the people that are world-class that you know, probably not many. They are so focused and deliberate on what it is that they're attacking. They're not out playing pickup basketball, for instance. They are so into tuning their skills every single day and their abilities that they don't have time for anything else like that. You know what I mean? Balance, in my mind, should be found in your ability to pay. If you're a student, make sure you're giving yourself enough time academically so you're not staying up all night, getting fatigued, waking up the next day and then trying to go play football and then basketball and then baseball. Like, you've got to make a choice here at some point of what you're going to go all in on, and whatever that's going to be, you've got to pursue it with 100% passion. So that's been my experience as an athlete, and now as a coach, as what I like to call a student coach. I took that from Bruce Lee, one of the greatest of all time. But if you want to be great, you've better get obsessed. Focus on one thing that you can control and attack that's not a strength right now for you, and then trust the process. Chop wood, carry water. 10 years, 6 days a week, 5 hours a day is the minimum requirement for mastery. That is a lot of hard work. And if you don't love what it is that you're after, you're never going to make it happen. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Todd McDonough, I love you, man. I hope you're doing good. Everybody take care. Have a great day.